All right, so this is Weapons. It's written and directed by Zach Krieger. I just saw it yesterday, and I earlier this year I saw the trailer and I was like, "Wow, this looks promising. Like this is an interesting premise. It's creepy. It's unsettling from the trailer." And I was like, "Okay, well, this might actually be something." I was like, "I definitely gotta keep my eye out on this one to find out when it comes out and go see it." So I just did that yesterday. We're gonna talk about it today. Almost an entire group of kids in this class, all but one. One night, they all woke up and just left their houses and ran off into the darkness. And you can see it from the like surveillance systems at their houses and things like that. Their parents don't know what happened, things like that. And naturally, from the investigation, and everything, it's been a little bit of time. The parents want answers, one of which is Archer, played by Josh Brolin. They want answers, and because it's only one kid and and the teacher from that class that are still around, you either had something to do with it or something. They're desperate for answers, and that seems to be the the only way they'll potentially get them is through the teacher about what happened in that class. So Justine, played by Julia Garner, is the teacher, and she is getting threatening phone calls. People are constantly stopping her, trying to ask her questions. If she goes to the school, the the parents around will give her shit and all mob her. And she can't even go back to school because she'd be seen as a distraction based on everything going on. I mean, her life is really been negatively affected by this. So at this point, because I mean, she can't even go back to school and teach and everything. She's really invested in finding out what actually happened. So, what do I think about this movie? I think it's one of the best movies of this year, at least that I've seen. Performances are all great, especially Julia Garner and Josh Brolin. And the way that this story is told, where it's told in separate parts and different characters that involves perspectives, it is just so good because there's so much tension and you're so uh, interested to see where it's going and what actually happened with these kids. The way that it's already affected these characters with Justine not being able to work and turning to alcohol and getting these threatening calls and things like that. Her life has been turned upside down. Also, this Archer character, he lost his son. His son's one of the kids that went missing, and so he's obsessed with it and following Justine and constantly going to the police trying to get information, but not really getting it. Uh, these characters' lives have already been affected, just from this situation. But as you get more and more of what's going on, and they start to find out more and more, uh, this stuff is horrifying. It's gory. It is unsettling. It's violent, and it's sick. A lot of this, I mean, it was if you're one of the characters involved in this, even if you survive, this is trauma for the rest of your life. You're never getting over this stuff. But also, along with that, there's also moments of levity here. There's also some funny moments that happen, like towards the end, even with everything going on. There's one, like easily the funniest part of the movie. It shouldn't be, but the way it played out was kind of comedic. And somehow, with this movie being just as crazy as it was still able to have a sense of humor, which I really like that part too. As far as negatives, I don't really have that many. I do think there are stretches in logic here, especially with one character. It's like, okay, if there's an investigation going on with this, people would see what this character is doing and be like, "Huh, this is kind of suspicious," you know. Or there's a part where this character is alone in a room, and somebody comes in the room and asks this character some things, and it's like, you're not gonna ask if this person just took what is clearly missing for some reason and why. Even though I like where it goes and the way it's explained and things like that, I do think that it's not explained enough, especially when you find out how this is happening and who's doing it. It's like, okay, I feel like there should be a little bit more information as to why and how. But I think a bigger problem with it is that the rules of what's going on and what happened to the kids and things like that. I think the rules are inconsistent, especially when it gets to the end. Feels like they definitely were like, okay, we want it to end this way, even though it doesn't fully make sense with what we've seen so far when it comes to what's going on here. It all just comes together really well, even with certain things like the ending and things like that. Certain things with how this stuff works that felt inconsistent, it still felt satisfying, and I had a great time watching this. Like, I think it's a 2-hour movie. It went by really quick because I was just so invested in the story and these characters and what's really going on. So, anyway, that's Weapons. I'm giving it beyond awesome. Right, like I said, one of the best movies of the year. And if you saw the trailer and you thought it was interesting, definitely go see it. I'd recommend anybody go see it, but especially if you saw that trailer and went, "Huh, that's kind of interesting." Definitely go see it. It's definitely worth it. So anyway, yeah, that's Weapons. Beyond awesome. Subscribe. We're done.